My sister grinned and told me as I agreed to pay $30,000 for her wedding expenses, acting all high and mighty for just $30,000. Don't come to the wedding, I don't want you there. With your looks, you'll never get married, huh? It's a waste to save money. I'll spend it for you, she said, looking down on me. I realized there was no point in responding to my sister, who kept insulting me. So, I simply said, "All right, good luck," and left. My sister, who repeatedly made offensive remarks, ended up panicking afterward. Before I get into how things turned out, let me start from the beginning with my sister and me. I'm Hannah, a 30-year-old wedding planner. I've been dedicated to my career. Though still single, I enjoy my job that involves being part of people's milestones of marriage. At work, I've even started to lead the team. It's a responsible job and organizing many people is tough, but it's fulfilling. I've seen many brides through work and hope to get married someday. However, things aren't quite there yet with my current boyfriend. I've been dating Paul for about a year. He's a kind person, but lately, he seems indifferent. He often declines when I ask him out for meals or dates. I was suspicious, and then I got a shocking confession from my sister Candace. I'm dating Paul. You should break up with him. When I heard this, I thought, not again. It wasn't the first time Candace had gone after someone I was dating. Candace is 5 years younger than me. Since I was a kid, I have been often compared to her because we were complete opposites. I had a plain appearance and was shy, struggling with conversations. In contrast, Candace was cute, charming, and could make friends with anyone. Everyone, including our parents and relatives, adored her. Meanwhile, Candace always looked down on me, and I faced constant harassment behind the scenes. The only area where I could outdo Candace was academics. Yet, no matter how well I did on tests, our parents never praised me. Although I excelled in studies, they preferred Candace, who was charming and good at winning their affection. They never realized Candace's manipulative nature. Being good at studies isn't everything. You lack femininity, my parents would often say. The last straw was my father's comment. Candace is kind-hearted. It doesn't matter if she isn't good at studies. But in my eyes, Candace's personality was far from kind. Since childhood, Candace always wanted my things, like my favorite toys, books, clothes, accessories, everything. I complained to our parents. I hate it because Candace takes all my stuff. But their typical response was, just give it to her. Aren't you the older sister? Don't you think she's cute? At those times, our parents made me feel like I had done something wrong. As a child, I couldn't bring myself to say, I don't think Candace is cute at all. Honestly, I disliked how she took my things and was always excused for it. Candace hated when I received more attention than her. Even if I was talking with our parents or relatives, she would immediately start with, listen. I am. And everyone would be drawn into her engaging stories, leaving me out. Besides, Candace would take away every guy I liked. In middle school, as soon as she knew I liked someone, she would date him. The first guy I dated in high school was also taken by her. Every time she took a guy from me, she would say with a smile, sorry. He likes me better. That smile of hers was unbearable. I started dating my current boyfriend, Paul, a year ago when I was 29. Paul is the same age as me, and I thought it might be time to start thinking about marriage. That's when Candace told me to break up with him. Remembering all the times she had taken someone away from me, it wasn't surprising, but I confronted Paul. After all, we had been together for a year. I thought there was no way he would choose Candace over me. Sorry. I love Candace. She says she can't do without me. I have to protect her. I felt dizzy hearing that. I thought I was the one who couldn't do without Paul. Moreover, To hear that he had been betraying me for over 6 months was a shock. Instead of apologizing, Paul said he wanted to be with Candace. That was too much, and I complained to our parents. Candace has taken my boyfriend Paul, even though we both thought it might be time to get married. However, our parents sighed and tried to soothe me. It wasn't meant to be this time. We heard from Candace. She's going to marry Paul. You should congratulate her. If Paul loves Candace, there's nothing you can do. Stop complaining. Aren't you ashamed to be jealous of your sister? Despite my boyfriend being taken away, my parents kept defending Candace. That's when I realized my family was not on my side. I was hurt, but I broke up with Paul. Maybe it was lucky to split before marriage talks got serious, I told myself. Soon after, I heard that Candace and Paul got engaged. Then, Candace shocked me with her words. Since you're single and only work, you should pay for the wedding. You must have saved up, right? True, saving money is my hobby, and I might have saved more than others my age. But that money wasn't meant for Candace's wedding expenses. I had no intention of celebrating, but I planned to give them a gift at least. Yet, why should I bear the wedding costs? Not only Candace, but our parents said the same. Pay for the wedding, you know she doesn't have the money and we're barely managing our retirement funds. Just lend it to her. She said she'll pay you back later, right? Can't you even lend money to your family? I got tired of hearing this day in, day out. Reluctantly, I agreed to pay, ensuring Candace intended to repay me. Of course. I'll pay back everything. However, after I agreed to pay, I realized something. The invitation never came. Maybe she would hand-deliver it? I waited, but Candace never brought it. Candace, where's the invitation? She glanced at me and smirked. I sent them out to everyone. I haven't received it. That's because I didn't send one to you. What do you mean? You're not inviting your own sister? Even though I'm paying for the wedding, how can you not invite me? I was furious. It was as if she only needed my money and nothing else. Acting all high and mighty for just $30,000. Don't come to the wedding. Hannah, you're too plain. It'd be embarrassing if everyone saw you. Even Mom and Dad said, let Candace do what she wants. Hannah doesn't matter. It wasn't just Candace, but our parents agreed. Instead of anger, I felt sadness. They always sided with Candace. Seeing how shocked I was, Candace giggled. With your looks, you'll never get married, right? It's a waste to save money. I'll spend it for you. Realizing arguing was pointless, I decided I was better off not attending such a sister's wedding. All right, good luck, was all I said as I walked away. Candace called out. Sorry you won't see the pretty bride. But I ignored her. The day before the wedding, Candace called. I ignored it, but she kept calling persistently. I sighed and answered. Hello? What's up? Candace was frantic. What do you mean by that? About what? The wedding expenses. I got billed an insane amount. I laughed. Candace was finally realizing the situation. An insane amount? Oh, right, no more discounts. Tough, isn't it? Discounts? What do you mean? Candace was getting married at the venue where I worked as a wedding planner. I had told her if I was paying, it would be there. I had many connections, like florists, makeup artists, and MCs who could offer services at a discounted rate because of me. Candace agreed, wanting any beautiful venue as long as she could be the center of attention. Since I was paying, she likely never checked how much the discounts were worth. The wedding expenses were discounted because of my employee benefit. But since I'm apparently not invited, I canceled the discount and also stopped the payment. That's impossible. Even without the gift money, there's a bill for over $30,000. Candace had skimped on the guests' meal costs but had lavishly spent on her dress, flowers, and production costs. Now that the discount is gone, it must be tough to make the payments. Good luck with that, I said as I hung up the phone. Before I did, I could hear Candace screaming on the other end, but I ignored her. After our call, Candace apparently tried to negotiate a lower price with the venue staff, but they were my colleagues and already informed of the situation. They stood by me and ensured that Candace was billed the full amount. Candace and Paul ended up in debt to pay for their wedding. Later on, it wasn't just the wedding expenses, but Paul's debts came to light too. He had always loved gambling. I kept an eye on him not to get too deep into gambling while we were together, so he spent it within reason. However, it seems Candace hadn't noticed Paul's gambling addiction. She was only interested in taking what was mine, not truly looking into Paul's character. While the couple was saddled with gambling debts, my parents came to me for help. Please, lend Candace some money. Are you planning to abandon her? How heartless can you be? Despite their outbursts, I ignored them completely and turned them away without a word. Candace and Paul, burdened with debt repayment, worked like slaves. Candace, with only part-time job experience, couldn't find a full-time position and was stuck with low-wage work. Paul, having quit gambling, was shunned at his company after they found out he switched from sister to sister and incurred debts because of it. Labeled the lowest of scum. He was isolated but continued to work due to the debts. I decided to distance myself from both my parents and Candace. Despite numerous calls from Candace begging for money, I didn't respond. I don't have money to lend you. Do not contact me ever again. The same went for my parents. I told them I had no intention of being involved with them or looking after them in their old age. Since they had planned to rely on me, they were incredibly anxious, knowing I didn't care to maintain a relationship after they'd taken me for granted. I have no intention of taking care of you after your retirement or providing financial support. Maybe your beloved Candace can take care of you. My parents were speechless at my words, but to me, they were already irrelevant. I wondered why I hadn't cut off contact sooner as I began to enjoy my freedom. Free from a sister who belittled me and parents who imposed everything on me, I felt more positive and even attended my first matchmaking party. Fortunately, I met someone great there, and we started dating. Both over 30, we were serious about marriage. My boyfriend, a banker with a stable income who doesn't gamble, turned out to be not only kind but also reliable. In fact, when Candace and Paul, along with my parents, frequently came to my house demanding money, it was my boyfriend who drove them away after learning of my situation. Please start detaching from Hannah. If you keep this up, we'll consult the police. His presence was truly reassuring. Not just kind, but dependable. Later, I learned that Candace had been persistently contacting him and even ambushed him after work, clearly trying to take him from me. Remembering all the times she'd taken someone I loved, I felt anxious. However, my boyfriend had no interest in Candace and he even found her repulsive. Unmoved by her persistent attempts, he proposed to me. I want to get you away from your crazy family as soon as possible. Let's marry and move quickly. I'm not beautiful and don't have much to offer, is that really okay? I asked insecurely. You've been brainwashed by your family. You are beautiful and have so many great qualities. I'll show you that from now on. Let's be free together. He assured me, and I nodded. Things turned around quickly. I got married and moved to a high-security apartment. My parents and sister no longer visit. A few months into the marriage, I found out I was pregnant, filling our lives with joy. Relatives say Candace and Paul are still struggling to pay off their debts, and my parents, now without their planned support from me, are reflecting on their actions. Even so, I've decided never to return to them. It may be tough for them, but their hardship is the result of their own actions. From now on, I plan to live happily with my supportive husband and our upcoming child.